This is Catholic Forum. I'm Bob Krebs. Paul Sanfrancesco served for many years as the Director of Technology for the Archdiocese of Philadelphia Schools and is now the Director of Technology for the Owen J. Roberts School District in Pennsylvania. He leads the district's efforts to support students, employees, and families by providing and maintaining exceptional technology systems for a professional learning environment in alignment with the district's mission, vision, and strategic plan. I would like to welcome to Catholic Forum Paul Sanfrancesco. Paul, thanks for taking time to be with us today.
Pleasure to be here.
So, what did I miss in your introduction? What else do we need to know about you?
So I also go around the country talking to Catholic schools, catechetical formation programs about social media, AI, and technology, and help them integrate technology into their schools, their religious ed programs, and things like that. And I also talk to the students on how to be a responsible digital Catholic citizen, give teachers strategies to do that, and also talk about parents how to be a digital Catholic parent in today's society.
Mm. That's a tall order. We are faced with a lot of issues in our society, and some of them, some of the biggest ones come from tech. So, what would you say are the biggest issues facing families regarding technology?
The biggest issue is a lot of parents just allow kids to have technology, which is great in moderation, but our kids are getting pressured to get cell phones and other devices at a younger and younger age because of peer pressure, because of everyone else has it, because sometimes they need it because of connections. So parents are pressured to maybe wait till eighth grade, wait till high school to get technology, which is awesome. But at a younger and younger age, second grade, we're kindergarten, we're seeing kids with cell phones and things like that for various reasons. But some of them don't know how to really monitor that, and some of them are not mature enough to really handle that at that age. If not, the parents have those rules, regulations, and Catholic values in place
Mhm.
to really monitor that device.
So, is there an age where children should be allowed to go or to have these devices and to go on social media? And I guess there are two questions. You might need to have a cell phone to text mom or dad when when you get home, or things like that. But then social media is another issue. So, talk about what the ages for that technology would be.
But when I talk to parents about this, I always say, what is the reason you're giving a child technology and what is the purpose? So if it is texting, maybe it's an iWatch or maybe it's an iPad that's on the kitchen counter that just does that for a younger and younger age. Maybe your child needs some kind of device because you have Life 360 and your situation maybe is, two parents working, single parent, grandparents that need that connection. And there's a reason and there's a purpose. When you just give the device to a first, second, third grade, eighth grader with no rules or purpose, that's where they start downloading everything. And the parents are overwhelmed. I don't even know what they're looking at and lose the control. And it's again, we're seeing those middle school grades be the really seeing a lot of devices out there for kids in middle school. And that's kind of the formation years in life, and the maturity is not there. So you really have to monitor and watch what's happening with that device and really control it.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, if we're giving them access to everything at that age when they're really in the midst of their formative years, as you said, that can really be a problem. So is there's not really a hard and fast age? Is that what you're saying? It's
Well,
kind of
in
this.
social media, if you look at TikTok and Instagram and
Mm.
Facebook, they have an age where they're saying 13, 14 to use this app unless you have parent permission. Some states have changed the age to 18. I know Australia has changed it to 18 as a whole country to get on social media without parent permission. So there's a lot of this. Even New Jersey and Delaware have laws right now in the House and the Senate to really change the age in their states to say, hey, 13, 14, maybe what the social media vendors recommend. We're saying 16, 18 for a recommended age without parent permission.
Mhm. So how about like online gaming? I mean, is that a that's a situation where young children or teens can get into some trouble as well? Talk about that a little bit if
So
you
yeah, I
would.
mean, a popular game right now is Roblox and these online games. You have Madden and all these games, which are games that are like our, you know, I'll date myself, Pac-Man and things like that,
Right.
where they're fine games. Parents have to realize there's a feature in there where they can play and talk to total strangers.
Mhm.
So it's the conversations that happen in those games that are a problem. But parents need to know if they just go to YouTube or ChatGPT or Google, they could find out how to control and shut those features off or restrict those features that they're only talking to their friends or people that their parents want them to talk to and lock that down so those games are safe.
Mhm. So it's really just a matter for parents to be aware of what their children are doing, online with their devices, and even obviously outside of that as well.
But
Um, Go
the,
ahead.
the biggest issue we just said is that parent education. And when I go around the country, that's kind of the biggest thing schools and formation programs want is how do we teach the parents how to manage this device and teach them also to put the Catholic values into it. And what I usually teach them is, and I teach the students that, and I use these 4 F's: faith, family, friends, and future that really have to be instilled in our lives, but also in technology.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that, about those, if you would, please. Go a little bit in depth.
Well, the nice thing about our Catholic faith is we can put our values in everything we do and really relating it to technology. Today, we are very lucky to have a future saint, Saint Carlo
Mhm.
Acutis, really model that for our students and families and use him as a great example of how technology can use in a Catholic way and a saint they can Google, watch YouTube videos, see what he did with technology and the other parts of his life, and really model that where our kids can follow Carlo if they're on social media, really start liking things, seeing more Catholic, making their algorithms more Catholic by following more Catholic influencers. So when they are, if on social media, they're getting Catholic values and seeing something Catholic in their feed. And then, friends, family, and future. Future is a big piece because colleges, jobs are looking at social media, even if you're private, and you can lose a scholarship. You can lose whatever today because of one post, one text, one word.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. It's a dangerous world out there, especially for our young people. Now, you mentioned some legislation in Delaware and elsewhere to help with this. It seems like that's becoming more and more popular. Are things getting better in this area, or are they getting worse?
Well, laws are catching up. Things are catching up. Even when we get into AI and things like that, we're seeing more of our government figuring out how to monitor and control this because the cat's out of the bag with a lot of this, and we're doing catch up right now. The
Mm-hmm.
issue is, you know, how far do you go into? Hey, a parent wants to do this; they can do this. The laws are saying we're recommending this. How do you enforce this? How do you get the tech companies really not to sell data and things like that? It's coming. We're getting closer. The issue is going to be we figure out one thing. Now there's 10 other things we have to figure out. And parents have to realize you're in control of that device. Take it away. I know it's a lot of pressure. I know kids are going to be screaming. I know that, but moderation is key with all this. And they're going to make mistakes, and you need to be there for that and help them fix that.
Yeah, I mean, just as a parent is in control of their all aspects of their children's lives, just if they give them a phone or an iPad, make sure you're just as, if not more so, involved in what they're doing
Right.
there as well. Yeah, good advice. My guest today on Catholic Forum is Paul Sanfrancesco, and we're talking about technology, social media, and what's going on in our world with our young people today. Paul, when you go to a school or a religious education program or a parish, and you talk to parents and teachers and students, how do their issues align, and how are they different?
So when I go to schools, the students are the younger students. When I talk to the the basically fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, they're very open on what they see and what they do and what they have, and they're more curious. You have that whole them questioning and asking questions. When you get to seventh and eighth grade, they're really quiet and more reserved because I'm kind of hitting a chord with them on their lives and really thinking, hey, you guys now have to start thinking about your faith, family, friends, and future, and what you do, and what that future piece, that faith piece. I even tell them from an aspect of, if you download TikTok or Instagram and you don't have parent permission, you're under the age of 13 or 14, yeah, the police aren't going to come to your door, but you're also lying about your age. That goes against the commandment. That goes against your faith. You have to ask God for forgiveness for that sin. And if you keep clicking on it and clicking on TikTok 20 times a day, that's 20 sins you've committed on that device. Relating it back to the foundation of our faith is so key to a lot of kids, that they kind of understand that and relate to that. Teachers want strategies on, hey, how do I manage in the classroom? Hey, what are the newest things that we're not going to teach, but I hear the kids talking about. I don't even know what the word Discord means, and that's an app that's not the greatest. And we really need that. They need to be educated so they can help students manage that. And parents just want information. What are these apps? How do I do this? Are there apps I can control my kid's device? Should I just give my kid an Apple Watch that's less intrusive than a phone, and really move ahead? And that's the whole program that I do
Mm-hmm.
from that development, from students, parents, and faculty. And it's a one-day experience, and it really transforms that parish or that school to really continue that education, because it's not a one and done. A lot of them will call me to come back and do AI or a refresh or something like that. Or their computer teacher or librarian or PTO keeps it up on each meeting. As long as it's continuing, it's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
You mentioned AI. That's something that everybody's talking about, um, from the president on down to to you and I. What are some of the pros and cons of artificial intelligence?
Well, in a school environment and in the world, AI is not going away. We need to embrace it and understand its potential and use in our lives, in schools, in our parishes, in everywhere. From a productivity standpoint, I use AI every day, just for my own emails. When I type an email, I put my email in. Hey, help me with this, help me with that. I used to have your superintendent of schools, Lou D'Angelo, look at all my emails. Now I have AI. I don't need Lou anymore. It's great, and actually, AI is actually better, but it gives you an extra eyes on something you do. The con of that is you don't put in AI, type this email for me. There's this borderline of doing the work for you and helping you, assisting that work. And when I do this with teachers and students, I really, show the line of authentic work and having someone check your work. AI could be that tutor in that classroom. Think of kids at home that are doing their homework and their parents or someone is not available and they need to hand this in the next day, and they do this paragraph and then they put that paragraph in AI and say, can you help me with my sentence structure? Can you help me with my punctuation? Asking it the right prompts to assist you, but not cheating. And that's one aspect from a school lens. We're trying to help students and parents and faculty understand the power of that.
What do you think the future holds for AI in education?
Well, teachers will never be replaced by technology. We
I'm
see
sure.
that
That's good to hear.
every trend, right? Good teaching is never going to be replaced by technology, and the internet, calculators, Google Classroom, and AI is the same thing. It's a tool, and how do we integrate this tool for efficiencies? I mean, I know a lot of special education teachers are using AI right now to help them develop IEP plans and really how do I get different strategies. Catholic school teachers, I know I've worked with kindergarten teachers. I'm a Catholic school teacher teaching this lesson, and it gives you ideas to put our Catholic faith into some of these lessons that some teachers would have never thought of. It's absolutely amazing when they're taught and show the potential and how to use those prompts in the right way to really engage students in our faith and in our schools.
So here we are. We're in August. The last bit of the summer is slipping past. What advice would you give to a parent as they begin a new school year?
Uh, uh, with technology, absolutely be cautious, have a purpose, and don't give in to your kids' pressure on everybody has a phone, everybody has a watch, everybody has this. That may be the case, but don't uh, give up your values and what you think as a parent because of pressure and everybody needs a phone. What's the purpose? And maybe wait till that middle school, high school. High school, it's just inevitable they're going to get a phone or need some device in freshman year because
Mhm.
it's just so connected with sports, texting, this and that. That middle school is that formation. That may be a test ground for you. Now, elementary, some kids have diabetes or some reasons, and they have the Dexcom app on their phone and they need a device. If you can wait until those upper grades, wait, or put an iPad on your counter, or have a device you can take away, or just have the computer or Chromebook with you before you give them that mobile device.
Mm. I've heard people say that you really shouldn't let a child, a computer or a technical device, iPad, should be in a common area. A kid shouldn't have it in their room. Is that something that you would go along with?
Well, it's great because we do take these devices, and the issue today is yes, that's 100% true. But your smart TVs have these apps on it and stuff like that. There's so many devices connected now. You have to control it by your internet or you can control things in your house now with Nests and stuff like that, where the internet goes off and things like that in rooms and but we go to bed and our kids sneak in our room and take the device from us and then put it back. You got to know how to monitor that or lock that so they don't get it. But yes, it should never be in a sleep. And science shows kids need to power down 30 minutes before they go to bed because the light from that device keeps their brain awake for 2 hours. So if they're not powering down a half an hour before they go to bed, at least their brain stays awake for 2 hours while they're sleeping. They're not getting that sleep, that rest.
A lot of schools too are having situations where you drop your phone or your device into a holding area or put it on
So
a
the old
shelf.
calculator pouches that we had in
Yes,
schools, it's
yeah,
great.
yeah. That's something that's you're in favor of as well.
Oh, I tell schools all the time, it, what you need to do is control that device and have consequences for that device.
Yeah.
We need to get our kids future ready for jobs, for their college, for life, because once they get out in that real world, they're going to need to know how to manage this device and putting them in that pouches and putting them away and having consequences for them. I know schools a lot of ban them, and if that's what they want to do, that's what they do. But what are we teaching kids? That device is bad. Well, no, we need to teach them how to use the device, have consequences device, even if it's keep it in your book bag. that's great. And you take it out, there's a consequence. We really need to start training them for the future on how to manage and control that device and not that device consumed. Because, when you ban something, it gets more, you want it more. And it's like, why? And parents also are pushing back some, saying, I want my kid connected all the time. I want to be able to get my kid connected. And schools are like, you can just call the office. Your kid's not going to be on the phone. But that's a battle right now, what we're doing with schools, and there's got to be a balance.
Anything else you'd like to add, Paul?
It's hard being a digital Catholic parent today. It really is hard. But if you use sites like ChatGPT and YouTube and ask the right questions, you're going to get an answer, or you're going to get a guide or something to guide you. And even my talks, whoever's doing it, if your schools are offering these for your students, go get more information and take it so it fits your parenting style.
How can we get more information about your work or about this topic?
Uh, I mean, schools have my Wilmington and other schools had me in and whatever. You'll see the flyers come out. You can always Google my name. There's a website. You can always go to commonsensemedia.org for more information on all these apps and things like that to really empower yourself to learn more of what your kids are doing.
Paul, I know you and our beloved Dr. Lou D'Angelo have been friends for many years, and I wish we had more time that we could talk more, about Lou and find out all of his deep, dark secrets. But unfortunately, we're out of time, so we'll have to do that another time.
Absolutely.
Paul Sanfrancesco, thanks so much for being with us today on Catholic Forum.
Thanks for having me.